San Francisco transfer Tyrone Riley IV is in the transfer portal. 6'6", highly touted kind of two-way prospect, I think, is kind of what has drawn a lot of interest. He was first team all WCC. I'm sorry, not first team all WCC. My apologies. He was all freshman team in the WCC this year. Had a really good freshman season. He was actually a very highly rated recruit for the likes of San Francisco, with all due respect. He was a four-star recruit. 6'6", like I said, a lot of size, a lot of two-way ability, has drawn actually a tiny bit of NBA buzz kind of in the Twitter world a little bit, just because they see the frame, the two-way ability. Yeah, he averaged 9 points a game. I'm sorry, just under 10 points a game, 6 rebounds and assists, a steal. A lot of ability, I think, that people see in Tyrone, and he will be a guy who will have 3 years of eligibility left as well, as he only played one season at San Francisco before looking like he's deciding to make a jump to a higher level. There are a long list of schools that are on his list. I think any school in the country, you can kind of name it. But Joe Tipton over at On3 reported that he completed Zoom meetings with Creighton, Arizona, and Texas. So the former four-star recruit has some big schools that are after him. Dion, I guess we'll start with this. What do you think about the player Tyrone Riley?
I think the defense part is important here with him. He struggles to shoot a little bit, 32%. He could obviously improve upon that. But he's really athletic, plays great defense, gets to the rim with ease. I think that defense portion is where he's going to make his money at the Power Five level. If he can develop that 3-point shot, right, that's when you just start talking about the next level. But I think you're absolutely correct. Like with the defense aspect of it and the athleticism aspect of it, you can kind of see why NBA teams are interested in him.
Yeah, I mean, NBA teams are looking for guys like this. You know what I'm saying? The size is 6'6", has the length to kind of like be able to, guard other positions too, and has the quickness to stick with them. When I watched his tape, it reminded me of like a Herb Jones type build. Like that's kind of like what I think his role and what maybe NBA teams would see him as. And Herb Jones was a very good, really good career at Alabama. I think Tyrone Riley might have a little bit more offensively than Herb Jones at this point, but maybe not the length and defense that Herb Jones has. I mean, Herb Jones is like an all defense kind of guy. But he has a long list of schools on there. As you can see, Creighton one, Arizona another one, Texas, along with a bunch of other schools that are a long list on this one. He's a California kid, so from the West Coast. Is there an ideal fit that you could see for him? I mean, if I'm looking at this list, Arizona loses KJ Lewis. They may lose Carter Bryant as well. I'm not sure what his draft plans are. I mean, I could see him being a good fit with Tommy Lloyd in Arizona.
Yeah, Carter Bryant's probably gone.
Yeah.
Uh, I feel like he's probably out of there. Um, I'll say this. If you're a West Coast kid, I'm a West Coast kid. I applied to Ohio State. That was never actively considered. I applied to Colorado. That was also never actively considered. I have family in both those states. We had to appease some people. We had to appease some people. I applied to Oregon and I applied to the Arizona schools. Those were considered. If you're going to leave California and you're a West Coast kid, Arizona makes the most sense.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Louisville actually made their way to the list as well. Indiana's on that list too. So some schools with some fun, some schools with some opportunities. Arkansas is another school that reached out to him. So basically, everyone is reaching out to this kid. Of course, Michigan's on the list because why wouldn't they be on the list? But a lot of different options for him. Is there a spot that sticks out to you that would fit him the best? Because you got to think he's a 6'6", wants to be two-way prospect, right? That wants
Mhm.
to probably get to the league, get to the NBA. That's why he's trying to get out of San Francisco to maybe show himself at a higher level. What do you think is the best fit to kind of be the next step to get him there?
I mean, if you're trying to get to the league, Calipari is always your best bet. It's been proven over like 3 decades at this point.
Yeah, right.
So I would say Cal. If it ain't Cal, I think Arizona makes the most sense. Just because it seems like based upon the list, Arizona has the most opportunity. I guess you could say Florida too.
Hmm.
Um, my fear with Florida is I look back on the Billy Donovan national title teams. Once them dudes left, you didn't talk about Florida very much. So my fear would be I'd have a little hesitation of like, does Golden have that next group coming? I do believe he does. But there's also the world you get down to Florida and you just go 18 and 17.
Yeah, I could see it. I think that he's gonna have a lot of suitors. Baylor's on the list as well. I mean, there's a lot of different places that I think are going to be in the running for him. I do think he's going to stick on the West Coast if I had to take a guess, or at least closer to the West Coast, if anything. But as the schools get cut down, we'll have more of a idea of where Tyrone Riley could go. But like you said, this is going to be one of the more highly sought after guys in the portal, being the two-way prospect he is, and also being, kind of young as well, having that 3 years of eligibility left as well. You can see him possibly playing multiple years at your school, and it's always good to get guys like that in the portal. But when we get updates on Tyrone, we will have them here on Sleepers Media YouTube channel. It is March, and that means that March Madness is upon us. And if you are looking for a place to play, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. Sign up and deposit using code SLEEPERS, that's code SLEEPERS, to receive up to $1,000 in bonus credit plus a free pick. Head over to Underdog Fantasy today and use promo code SLEEPERS to take advantage of this amazing offer.